Hello, you wonderful people. I'm April San Pedro, and I have another video for you. This time it's Journal with Me. It's been a while since I did this. So I haven't been filming my journal spreads for the past, I don't know, maybe months, or it's been a year, I think. I'm not sure what happened, but I became uninspired, or I felt like I want to enjoy the moment of not having any pressure of journaling, whether it's gonna look nice or not, because I'm not filming. And then recently I've watched videos from few of the people that I really love watching too. So these are Sarika, and then there's Misfit. So I'm gonna link their channels before. So I've been watching their videos, and then I realized that you don't really have to create a wonderful spread, or it doesn't have to have a perfect setup or something. So in a way, even though I enjoy the no pressure in journaling because I don't have to film, it got me really inspired to share another journal with me video, thinking that if I was inspired by these two ladies, I was hoping, I'd give the same feeling if you're watching this. That has been my advocacy, I think, to keep your memories through journaling, or be creative in your own way. It doesn't have to be super wonderful page, or I think the idea of just sticking photos, cutting ephemeras, sticking stickers or washi tapes, or whatever, collaging, or just as simple as writing things, gives a happy feeling. So if you're in a place where you feel unmotivated, like I was in the past few weeks, I just push myself to be with my journal. It doesn't have to be creative. All I have to do is just print a photo. Sometimes I don't. I just stick whatever I can find on my desk or whatever. And it gives me a different feeling. At least on a daily basis, it just lifts your spirit one day at a time. So I'm hoping if you're on that space, or even if not, you just feel like if you just want to have an inspiration. I hope this video brings you that emotion or that feeling. Okay, so what I have for you here is a recent trip I had with my family. So last weekend, my husband and my son went to Mati. So it's a 2-hour drive from our city, and Mati is one of my favorite places to go to if you just want to go to the beach. Although it's really far, make that 3-hour drive. You're running really fast if you're driving it for 2 hours. So roughly 3 hours away from Davao City. And that place is really one of my favorite places to go to if you wanted to have if you just wanted to go to the beach. The water is not still compared to Boracay and Palawan. It's pretty much not a kid-friendly type of beach, because if you're into surfing, that's the place where you should go to, especially if it's a good season for surfing. So basically, it's a mini Siargao, to give you an idea if you haven't been there. But anyway, that's one of my favorite places. When my husband and I were still boyfriend and girlfriend, we used to go there for music festivals, and I think that's one of my fond memories. And it became sweeter this time because I get to spend it with my son. Although this is the second time we've been there as a family, but the last time we were there as an entire family, it was Christmas season. So there are a lot of places that were closed because of the holiday season, and so we didn't get to see most of the places that I wanted to go to. But last weekend, it was just an impromptu idea, because Waki, my husband's office mates, planned to go there, And so my son and I tag along. My son and I had a pretty much a little bonding together with some of Waki's office mates. So it was kind of a fun weekend. So here, I want to share with you how I'll be journaling this. And if I use this printer to print these photos, and I had a video about this printer, so I'm just gonna link this below. So if you want a compact printer for you, especially if you're traveling and you really just want to journal right away, this is really handy, and I would really recommend this one. So far, I am so happy about it. Cost wise of the photo, still on the pricey side, but a little cheaper than Instax film. Plus, you get to have a collage on one print. So this is one print. It's really small, but you get to have 2 or 4 depending on how you want to lay out your photo. So given that, you can have 2 or 4 photos in one print compared to Instax, where you can also lay out your photos, but you cannot cut it. So you can only have one size photo with Instax. Unlike this one, you can have 2 separate photos or 4 or something like that. And another good thing about this is it's a sticker photo paper. It's using a zinc 0 ink photo paper. So once you use this, you don't have to have a glue or something like that. So I'll be using these photos, and then I'm also gonna use this ephemera, die cut ephemera that I have. This is my very first collection that was never launched. So I was into scrapbooking elements back then, but I never got to launch this. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but this is the very first collection that I have. This was inspired from our Siargao trip with my husband before. And so after that, I made this collection and never got to use them really, and never got to launch them. So I'm thinking I want to use this just in time for this photo. And also, I'll be using this journal. It's the Pandagdag 406. It's part of the anniversary kit this year, last July. And so I'll be using this one. I just used this recently, but never got to journal on them yet. So, okay, so let's start. I have no idea how to go about with this, so many photos with me. I even just remember that I still have few photos that I forgot to print, and I cannot find it in my phone already because I already transferred the photos in my external drive. So I just have to make a little space for that one, hoping that I won't forget. So I'm changing my cutter from scissors to this Cricut cutter because I noticed, since I'm using a very small scissors, this one, it doesn't cut straight. I don't know why. Maybe because it's too light, it's too small. So I'm just gonna use this. Although, truth be told, I'm also not a fan of this kind of cutter because it gets dull easily. The blade gets dull, although you can replace it anytime. But I haven't been using this, so probably I've just used this 20 times the most, and I already feel that the blade needs replacement. But if you need a cutting tool that can give you a straight line without measuring it, then this is very handy. So like if you wanna cut tags without measuring it, that's a very handy tool. Okay, so I think I'm done with that. Okay, so I also want to use a pattern paper, because since I have so many photos with me, I also like writing a lot for my journals. So I need an extra space, or at least another page, to insert the photos and the journals. So I'm thinking I'll be using this as a tip-in. So this pattern paper is from the Love Like Kiss collection. So I got 8 different patterns for that collection, and I'm thinking if I should be using, yeah, I probably use this one, the yellow one. So like I said, if you need to cut straight and you don't have a ruler or anything, this cutter is really handy. I was about to make a video about this cutter because I just bought this last year, I think, and I was a bit hesitant to get this one because I was really used to having just scissors and a manual box cutter. But if you have the box cutter, or if you're using the box cutter, kind of need to have a cutting board and then a ruler. If you noticed, the cut is really not that clean because the blade needs replacement already. Although the box cutter needs some replacement too. But I think it's easier to use, I think, for like, although maybe I guess I'm just used to that. So anyway, I'm just gonna clean this side with scissors, and then I'm gonna use this as a tip-in. So I'd probably, so right now I still don't have any idea how to go about this. I'm just gonna make a mark. I want an extra space on this side because I want to put a tab, which I think, okay, so I'll just find a way. I don't have enough supplies here because most of my journaling materials are in my room and I'm in the studio. So just like now, I don't need to put a mark all the way to the paper because the cutter will actually do that for you. But then again, my hesitation is like the edges is not so clean. One hesitation that I have for this kind of cutter is, although you can also replace the blade just like the box cutter, I believe the box cutter blade is very relatively cheaper than the blade for this one. So I'm just cutting it again because I still see marks, black marks. So let me know what you think. Are you comfortable with that kind of cutter? Do you like using that? Or do you prefer just scissors? But if I'm traveling, all I have is just the scissors. So I have here with me, oh, I'm gonna show this to you. So since I don't have my entire journaling stuff, what I have is just this. This is my journaling bag. I wouldn't say it's a pouch, but it's a journaling bag. It has 3 compartments, and so far it carries my most necessity when it comes to journaling and watercolor. And I have few stamps, I have few washi tapes, stickers, pens, and stuff like that. So that's my go-to bag every time I'm traveling, or even if I'm just in the house. That's where I put most of my stuff for journaling and for simple creativity. So I'm just checking what kind of washi tape would match. I think this one is better because it kind of gives me the beach vibes, although my ephemeras doesn't have much blue, but that's fine. Okay, so what I'm doing here is one of my favorite technique. I think this technique has already been used several times in my journal. If not 50% of my journal layouts. So I like using this technique. It's called tip in. If you're not familiar with this yet, I also have a video of this. Tips and tricks for your journaling. So if you're still not familiar with this, tip in is actually just adding an extra page for your spread. So you can either use a washi tape, or you can glue it by adding extra paper or something. Now I have an extra page for this one. So now I'm thinking how to arrange my photos. This is not gonna be easy. So first I think I have to arrange them according to the place. This is how I'm gonna do it. Now this is the problem, because I know I have one photo and I think the other one would look like this. So yeah, I think this will do. Maybe I should put extra. Yeah, okay. Right, so I think this will do. So this is what I like about this photo, or this printer. It's a sticker, photo sticker, so less effort for you to journal. Although I think it doesn't really matter, because if you're gonna be journaling somewhere else, you will definitely need glue at some point. So whether this photo sticks or not, you have a glue with you. Or at least that's how I look at it. I always have a glue with me. Okay, so here I'm gonna leave this empty because I have another photo of our room, which I think is gonna be also in a portrait style. So that's where I'm gonna stick it. Okay, so now I wanna add a tab. I also added extra space here so I can write something, describe what the photo is all about. So right now I'm just looking for a tab that I can use. Tab is really one of my favorite ephemera. I don't know why. So I'm thinking, yeah, I want to stick this here, and once I printed the photo, it will just cover it. So just like that. So yeah, although the photo sticker paper is convenient, I don't think it will matter, because if you are into journaling, glue is a must it's an essential to your kit, right? Especially if you're doing this traveling, right? So I'm happy about this. I want to add something here. It's probably okay. I think I want to add okay, we'll see. I want to use this one, although we never got to surf while we were there. So these are all watercolor turned into a digital element. What I want to do with this one is, this is where I'm gonna write my journal, or the story about what happened during that trip, because I want to highlight the photos. And so if I put the journal here and it's covered with this one, then it's just gonna be fine, because I want to highlight the photos rather than the writings. All right, so here the next one is another photo. Okay, here is a place where we had breakfast on the last day. I think I'm gonna just do it this way. But right now, since I have so many photos, the problem is I wouldn't be able to add a lot of ephemeras. Okay, so I think this is how I'm just gonna do this. have to accept that the ephemeras that I will be using, some of them will be actually won't be included because there won't be enough space for that. But this is one thing if you have so many photos, but I think it's just fine. I'm gonna leave another space here because that is where I'm gonna write what the photo is about here. And then after I stick all the photos, I'm just gonna add whatever ephemeras that is fitting, that it won't really look overcrowded or too crowded. Now this is what I actually don't like, this portrait, because it would have been nice if they're all landscape, right? But anyway, I want to include that photo, so let's just stick it there. Just like I said, it doesn't matter whether this layout or spread will look nice or something, as long as we just do it and journal and keep the memory. Okay, so now I want to add some ephemeras. So I have here definitions, I think, or just text. Enjoy the ride, live, love, explore. So this is part of the collection. I think I call this Off to the Beach. I have a pouch here of a journaling material. You know what, this is such a funny element because now it made me realize I wasn't really active into journaling back then when I was doing this, but I think I like having a pouch of whatever knickknacks that I have. So one thing that I know I always bring with me is a notebook and a pen, so maybe that's the reason why I have this. And there's an earphone at the edge. So basically the inspiration of the elements that I have here for this collection is mostly what I had or what we encountered during that Siargao trip that we had. So just like the surfing board, even though we haven't really tried the surfing while we were in Siargao, but since it's a surfing area, so I actually included that. The Instax, because that I brought during that trip, and then a tote bag. So yeah, and of course this one, coconut juice. So yeah, and a backpack, because during that time, so this is actually an inspiration of my backpack, the one that I used during the trip. So here I want to put that on this side because it's just so tiny, because Nicolas and I were actually sketching one morning or the next morning while his papa is with his office mates. So we were alone together, and what we did during that day or during morning was we just sketch and we ate. I want to put this here. Like I mentioned, I want to use this. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna use this here. So I might overlap to the other page. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it this way. There you go. Just so to balance the ephemera from this side to this side. Okay, so I think right now that's only so much I can do. Okay, so this one I can still add here. And then maybe, no, it's gonna be too much. Okay, so I think I'm good with this setup. Well, there's nothing much we can do. Otherwise, it's gonna look really crowded. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna add stamps. Okay, this stamp is one of my favorites. This is from Illustrated Faith, from the Yielding Hope collection. So here, I'm gonna write the date here. However, this was a 2-day trip and I only have a specific date for this one. So I think what I'm gonna do is stamp on one edge, leaving an extra space here, remove the space here or the details here, so it will just stamp on the date. Then next is I'm just gonna stamp it on the upper side. There you go. I'm just gonna add a line to connect, saying this happened from 8 to 10 of September. I'm just gonna write the Hikan Mati because it's gonna occupy the entire space rather than just Mati, and I don't have anything to put here. So this is just gonna be a very simple page that focuses more on the photos, and the only thing that we added here is probably just the tip in that makes it a bit I wouldn't say complicated, but just giving it a little oomph, because we have so many, I have so many photos. I still have extra space for this, which I'm not really sure what to do with it, or if I should just leave it empty. Let's just use this like this. Oh, I like this one. Today was a great day, but there's no other space. I know what I can put here. Let's put a washi tape, same as this one, to balance. So I'm just gonna tear it off. Another one here. There you go. Kind of look balanced because you have the same washi tape on this page and the other one on the other side as well. I mentioned I use this one. This was from the Fruitful collection, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna, oh yeah, this one looks nice here. One technique that I like doing is layering the ephemeras or anything at all, whether it's a patterned paper with ephemeras and the photo. Layering, what I meant by layering is I add one element on top of the other instead of just doing something like this, like separating them. But this one is a different story because I just wanted to add something to give extra decor with the photos. What I really like doing is layering. So just like this one, so I'm covering one element on top of the other, creating a layer. So it kind of looks like a clump of elements rather than putting them separately on the page or on the layout. So it kind of give you focus on your journal. So instead of me putting this one on one side of the paper to give more decoration on one side, I wanted to focus the decoration on one side, so your eyes will just go directly to this focal point, and then you can I will just write my journaling here, and I have more space for that. Okay, so now that I'm done with the entire layout, I'm gonna write the description of the photos. So I'm just gonna use Unipin Fine Line. It's a waterproof and fade proof. This one is a bit, what color is this? Dark gray. So it's not really black. Alright, so it's pretty much done. except for the photo here and the journaling at the back. But pretty much it's the entire layout. So I added few things a while ago. I added the date here and on this side, just so to remember that this photo happened on this date. I hope this simple spread inspired you to print those photos of yours, whether you've been to the beach or if not, even just a trip to the mall with your family or just a dinner with friends maybe, and put that in your journal and keep that memory forever. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. I truly hope I was able to inspire you to journal again, just like it did to me while I was watching Sarika and Misfit. Thank you so much for watching up until the end. I'm trying my best to adding more videos every week as much as I can. And so I'm just taking one step at a time. So I hope to see you again next week. And if you have any question regarding this printer or whatever regarding journaling, I'd be happy to answer them if I can. And even just to say hi, I'd really appreciate that one. Thank you so much for being here and have a great weekend ahead of you guys. Bye!